From the Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen.
This is Roz and Mocha.
It's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
The Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
That is amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man.
This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So I got to play you this, an Air Canada flight back in March that was flying from Miami to Toronto. Couldn't land. They had to abort their landing procedures because I guess while they were approaching the runway, a passenger got up and ran in and had to use the bathroom. And so they couldn't land because there was some sort of emergency happening with the passengers.
Oh, no.
So here's the back and forth between the pilot and the control tower.
Left heading 180.
Left 180, Canada, 1199.
Okay, do you require any assistance?
No, we had a passenger that ran into the toilets on final, so can't land with that.
It happens once in a while. Okay, 1199. Contact departure on 1288 and they'll bring you back around. Best of luck the second time.
28, Canada, 1199.
Right? When you got to go, you got to go.
Yeah,
So you can't
Right?
land if somebody's in the bathroom?
No.
That's why they tell you.
I thought they just said that for safety.
No.
Well, yes, it's for safety.
It is for safety. Yeah, it's exactly what it's for. No, because there's no seatbelts or anything like that. And, but when you got to go, you got to go, right?
Yeah.
Right, Shem?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man.
Hold on. Can I read this? Let me just see if I can find this text from yesterday. It's so funny. I've been dying to get this story. Can you tell the story without grossing people out, Shem?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So Shem said yesterday in the group chat, y'all, I nearly messed myself today. This has to have been the closest I've ever come to it. Like we're talking seconds away from utter disaster.
Oh. I've never been that close in my life.
Where were you?
Okay, so I was at Canadian Tire.
In Canadian Tire?
Yeah, I was at Canadian Tire, and I just got in. I was looking for something for my car, and you know that sound? Oh God, not to gross people out, right? Yeah. Anyways, a sound was heard
from the belly or from the back?
From the belly.
Okay.
It was like
no. Oh yeah.
Right. You know that sound.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, that's not good. But I was like, whatever. I'm still young-ish. I can handle it. I make my way through one aisle.
Yeah.
A second sound.
No.
I'm like, nope. Time to go. So I dropped what I needed to drop when I was there for, went to my car and sat in my car.
Yeah.
What? And a third sound. And let me tell you, I didn't move. I froze.
Why didn't you just use the bathroom at Canadian
There
Tire?
was none, not this location.
No.
And I asked.
Yeah.
And I sat in my car and I was like, oh no, I think it's time. But I couldn't leave. Like I was shook. Like I didn't really know what to do.
But at this point, do you start looking around your car for things to
No.
relieve yourself in?
No.
How far were you from home or from
like 10 minutes?
Okay. But in the vicinity of where you were there not any fast food place that you could run into? And
the last thing I was thinking was going to someplace and do what I needed to do in an establishment.
But you start thinking at some point, okay, maybe it's maybe the thing that is saving me right now is just simply the position that I'm in.
Yes.
And that if I even try and if I strain a tiny bit, even trying to get out of this car, there may be disaster.
Let me tell you something.
Yes.
If I had moved, right, in that moment, I had to calm myself down because any sudden movements, I'd have to get rid of my car. Because there's no way I could be in that car anymore.
So what did you do? You raced home?
So I got home and I live in a condo, right? Luckily, I live on the first floor.
Oh my
right?
God.
Imagine having to wait for the elevator.
But we have one elevator working right now.
Okay.
Right? One.
Yeah.
So I decided to gingerly, and when I say gingerly, gingerly walk up 2 flights of steps.
You walked up stairs?
Yeah, from the basement. I'm in the second basement, and I was holding onto the guardrail.
Yeah.
And I ran into the lady who I rent a parking spot from.
Yeah, chatty?
Super chatty,
Gotcha.
of course.
Oh,
she wants to talk about everything under the son. I'm like sweating. I can't have this conversation right now.
No.
I get home. Of course, fumbling my key, right?
Oh,
and
always.
again, like it's got to be a fifth or sixth sound at this point.
Yeah,
I'm like this is going to be really, really bad. And then I, did what I needed to do. Finally completed the task.
Did you run? Did you run?
No, there was never running.
No,
there was never
walked
running.
Slow, even when you were in your home.
Listen, I am going to be 36 in a couple of weeks. If I ran, that would have been a major problem.
Interesting.
Yeah, I ain't 26 no more, man.
Interesting technique.
Yeah.
So everything's fine, no mess.
I'm good.
No.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story about when I really had to pee when I was on a plane? Did I ever tell you that story?
No, but go ahead.
No, I don't know if I should. I don't know if I
you
should.
brought it up.
I know.
Bro.
I don't know if I should.
So what happened? You're on a plane.
Nah.
How long is the flight?
I don't know. Hold on.
How long is the
Wait,
flight?
I may need a.
No, you literally do not have a minute.
Okay.
You have right now.
Okay, then maybe can we take a break and maybe I come back?
No, we actually can't.
It's an involved story. I do
Tell
not.
it right now.
I can't. I don't know if I should. Is what I'm saying.
You just wasted 40 seconds.
I'm not wasting anything because I'm still debating as to whether I should even tell this story or not. Now that hold on.
Come on, flush it out.
Okay, how about this?
Wait, yeah.
Can you tell the story in the news in 10 minutes?
No.
Why not?
No, I can't.
Well, you can't tell it now. Can
Listen, okay? Hold on.
you tell the story tomorrow?
No. I'm not going to bring it back up tomorrow. There's no point in bringing it back
Then
up
say
tomorrow.
it right now.
I don't know if I should. I want to be able to whisper it to you first.
Okay, whisper it.
Yeah. No, like these, Shem, you got to sing or something like that. Because
Okay.
I got to tell Mocha because I don't here's my I'm not, you know me, I'm not a brand guy. I'm not a reputation guy, anything like this. But there's a couple stories that I have that I worry that people may look at me differently.
So why don't Maurie and I sing a little and you whisper it?
You guys sing. I'm going to turn our microphones off.
All right.
Okay. Okay.
Maurie, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
The party was night, the party was bumping. Hey, yippee-yi-yo. Anybody having a ball? Yeah, yippee-yi-yo. Something calling. Hey,
Oh, now let's do Mambo number 5.
Oh, a little bit of Monica.
Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough for you guys.
That was fun.
Go ahead.
That was fun, dude.
Okay.
We just did a sidebar.
Okay, I don't want to, and don't text. Nothing. Our text line's down, unfortunately. You can't text because I don't want anybody's opinion on this.
can't
Okay,
text
so this was
925-555.
years ago when I was traveling a lot.
Okay, go.
Okay, so I was in first class, right, and I'm flying, and we are about to land. Seatbelt sign is on, everything else. I'm window seat, so I couldn't even get out even if I wanted to. And I am suddenly I have to pee. Mm-hmm. Okay? I really, really, really have to pee. And it's happening. It is happening, and I don't know what to do because I'm going to, there will be a wet mess on my seat, and I have to figure out how to fix this problem without being able to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
So I have a first class blanket on my lap, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those thick ones?
Okay.
I mean, they're not that thick, but.
No. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I started to wonder if I needed to if I needed to do the full pee, or if maybe a little bit of pee might just sort of get me over the hump to when we land, and then I can go to the bathroom, right? So I'm trying to figure out how much I need to actually pee. And the only thing I could think to do, right, was when you fly in first class, at the beginning of the flight, they give you these little face cloths that are warm and that you just rub on your face and your hands and stuff like this, right? Yeah. And I had noticed that during the flight at some point when we put them on the middle console, me and the guy who was sitting beside me, they had both fallen onto my side, and I just never noticed. So they were both sort of tucked into between my body and the side of the thing. And so I had the blanket on my lap, and underneath the blanket, I reached over and grabbed the two face cloths.
Oh, my God.
Okay?
Oh, no. Yeah.
And then I jammed my hand down my pants.
Oh, my God.
Oh, no.
And I made a sheath for it. Uh-huh. And then I let out a lot, what wound up being a lot of pee.
I want to go home.
Okay. a lot of pee.
All over the towels.
Into the towels.
Oh,
into the towels.
None of it made it like
Nothing.
on your pants.
I folded it up so the end part was nice and thick, right? And I rammed it right onto that. And then I peed into that. And I stopped peeing when I felt the wet go through the towel and hit the palm of my hand. Okay? And then I grabbed those 2 towels. And underneath the blanket, I reached forward and grabbed my backpack that I had with me, and I put the towels inside my backpack, and then zipped it up. And then left the plane and found the closest washroom, and there was no mess, and nobody had any idea what happened.
You stole towels from an airline?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm sore.
From what?
Too much yard work.
What'd you get up to?
I cleared out the ditch. So I was using this machine that's like, like a weed whacker, but only it's like an industrial weed whacker that you push like a mower.
Oh, God. Okay.
Right? And it's not propelled, so you got to push it. And
you rent that?
No, I borrowed it from a friend.
Okay.
And I'm just like going up and down the ditch, just like taking down stuff that's like 4 feet tall. And
like what? Like what could have grown over the wintertime?
So like I had planted all the wildflowers in the ditch a couple of years ago, and I'm going to clear all those out and plant something else this year. So it was just a mess of
everything
nonsense.
just like patted down.
It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Yeah, but my hips are sore. Like, what is this? I was trying to figure it out last night.
Your hip bone?
No, it's not. It's below. So what is
Your
this?
thighs?
What is this right here? Like right there. What is that?
Your pelvis?
So go put your thumb on your hip bone, right?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Where the hell's my hip
Maurie's
bone?
right. Your pelvis.
No, it's not. My pelvis is here, Nimrod.
Well, I can't see.
This is over here. If my pelvis was there, I'd be giving birth. Right?
That's your hip, man.
No, it's below my hip.
So your upper thigh.
But like there's a muscle. Like
it's the ischium.
Oh my God. What the hell's that?
ischium. Ischium.
Describe it for me.
The ischium forms the lower and back part of the hip bone and is located below the ilium and behind the pubis.
Listen, okay, everything behind my pubis is
ischium.
fine. That's not what I'm talking about. I ain't got no behind the pubis problems today.
Should have trimmed that this
Okay?
weekend.
No, I did not. Okay? I can guarantee you one thing. All the work I did this weekend only improved my behind the pubis. Okay?
Sure, pal.
Strengthened it.
Yeah,
Okay? My hips may be so. I was doing Kegels the whole time, by the way, fellas. Okay? I never forget my Kegels. No, it's right here. It's like such a pain. I had to like Catherine rub stuff on it last night for me, like that icy hot stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
And?
Yeah. Well, she got a little too close to the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's like real cavalier about it. Like she
course.
smears it on there. I'm like, no, it's localized. This one little spot.
Yeah, let
And
me
she's
get
like,
everywhere.
okay, the worst thing when it comes to stuff like that is when Catherine's putting something on me.
Yeah.
And then I go, yo, that's too far. And then she looks at me and goes, well, I have too much on my hands. Because then she just like starts rubbing the rest of it on other parts of my body as she's walking away. Like she put it on my hip and then as she was walking away, like grabbed my arm and just like rubbed down my... Yes!
Not icy hot?
Yes!
Because then it gets icy and then hot.
Yes! I'm a towel in my house. Okay?
That's the worst.
Right?
Girl, use wash your hands.
Yes, thank you.
Use a paper towel or something.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm in a lot of pain today.
In your ischium?
First day. Yeah, my ischium. Thank you, Maurie. I didn't know what that was.
What's right behind the pubis?
Shut up. I told you. Okay.
This is fine.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Shannon. Welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Doing good. Is this the first time that you're on the show?
Technically, no. I went under a false name a few weeks ago for an FML.
Oh, okay.
So, wait.
Yes.
So is Shannon your real name then?
Shannon's my real name.
Okay.
damn.
So all people have to do now is to go back a couple of episodes and listen to any of the FMLs.
Ooh, we'll see.
That seems like a weird thing to admit.
I know. Why would you admit that?
At the time, I was a little bit embarrassed, but the advice you guys gave me was awesome. So
Hold on. Wait.
Shem.
Well, Shem,
If you figured out, I don't think we should say.
Hold on. We can we can bleep this if it's too much. Go ahead, Shem.
No, I gotta find it first.
Oh, okay. Oh, interesting.
Stand by.
I can
Interesting.
probably tell you
All
quicker.
right. Shannon, go ahead.
The investigators are on the case. Don't you worry, Shannon.
In the meantime, what's your question for the room?
So my question is, what is a food that you guys liked as a child but can't stand now?
Campbell's tomato soup. Without question.
Yeah.
Without question.
Mine is going to be like the Chef Boyardee, like ravioli or beefaroni.
Oh.
Yeah. Or even like the Heinz, like the Alphagetti, all that stuff.
What's yours, Shannon?
Ooh, I was tossing up between chocolate pudding or bananas.
Good ones. Chocolate.
Why for each? Why?
I think it might, for chocolate pudding, I think I just overdid it as a kid.
Yeah.
And bananas, I think it was like a PTSD situation where I think I got like a slimy one or something, and I just can't do it anymore.
Right. Also cereal. I used to have cereal when I was a kid. I don't have cereal anymore.
Do you guys have answers, Shem?
Yeah, I used to eat liver a lot.
Oh!
No, my mom.
No, your mom made you though.
No, I used to request it.
Oh, yeah?
I used to
That's so
love
good.
it.
Liver and onions is amazing.
Yeah, I'm with you. Hey man, I'm with Maurie, man. I used to eat that for sure.
Hell no.
Not anymore though.
Hell no.
Tim Maury?
Great question, by the way. I was going to say.
You figured it out.
Damn. Wow, Maury, you just you didn't have to go that far, bro. Damn.
You could have just said, hey, we know.
Yeah.
I was going to say hamburger helper.
Oh.
Another good one.
That's
Yeah.
another good one.
When was the last time you had it?
My dad still uses it, and I can't. It just tastes awful.
It does, huh?
So when
Yeah.
was the last time you had it?
I think like Christmas time, he puts it in stuff.
Hamburger helper.
I think he mixes it in with stuffing.
Really? Huh?
Yeah. Oh.
It's interesting because like when I was a kid, like there was stuff that I loved that I don't think I would love now, but I would make it from scratch now. Like I would do the sort of home cook version of it, right?
Sure.
Which is I remember so often as a kid. We would have sloppy joes, right?
Sure.
But it was like my mom would cook hamburger, and then I'm sure it was like from a can or something like that, right? And you mix it all together, and she had it in a big bowl in the middle of the table, and all we got was just like plates with like toasted bread,
Yeah.
and then you would just all reach into this one big sloppy joe bowl. Right. So I love that, but I think that I would probably hate that now if I ate it. I can't do tomato soup anymore because Campbell's soup is just too sweet. It's only sugar. And I found it disgusting when I had it as an adult.
I still have 3 cans a week.
That's terrible. Terrible.
I remember when I was a kid, I used to always want shake and bake.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time I had it, but it was one of those situations. We lived in a house where we don't need to buy it. I can make it at home. Right. Like we have it at home. And then my mom would make it or her version of shake and bake, and it wasn't the same.
No.
Ooh, I'm going to add in powdered potato.
Powdered potato?
Yeah, it's like
Mashed potato?
Like powdered mashed potato. You add water or milk or whatever to thicken it.
Boxed potatoes. Nope.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever had. Maybe I have at like some event or something like that where it's like a powdered potato. But yeah, it's weird. That stuff is weird how you can just add water to something and then it just becomes potatoes. Right? Like it's super weird.
You don't ask any questions.
No!
Like,
Right?
how is this possible?
No!
What about Swanson's, like those microwavable dinners? The Swanson's meat.
TV dinners.
The meat.
I used to kill those. Hungry man? Are you kidding me?
Bro, Salisbury steak.
It's terrible now.
With that little thing of mashed potatoes.
Yes.
Powdered potato.
Right? Oh,
Yes.
you're right. It was powdered potatoes.
Yes,
100%.
and Shem brought up Michelinas. Oh,
Yeah.
man, I used to be heavy in the Michelina game.
See, I was too old by the time Michelinas came out, right? Like I never ate those. Like ours were literally like TV dinners with the foil, like with the foil tray, and you'd pop it in the oven, but you had to cut the foil off the meat part, but leave it on the dessert
Vegetables.
part or leave it on the vegetables.
Yeah.
Yes, like there was instructions on, like you had to like really take care of it. Right? Like it was still a process. Like
We should get a couple of Hungry Mans in
I
here.
know.
And just see.
I
a
used to
taste test.
love, bro, the fried chicken TV dinner with those 3 pieces that didn't even resemble any part of a chicken that I'd ever seen before. Oh, man, that was so good. It was so good. And I used to, and I remember I used to love the ones that came with mixed peas, carrots, and corn. I didn't like it when it just had peas, right? I used to like the mixed. Not it.
The one Hungry Man that had like ribs in it. Man, when I used to get those were like special for me.
Wow.
Because I thought it was like,
I've never seen ribs in a Hungry Man.
Yeah, like I thought I was I was like, oh man, this is eating. This is living right here.
Damn.
Yo, Shannon, you're the best. Thank you so much for joining us today. That was a great question.
Thank you guys so much. I really have to say, you guys have been amazing. I've been dealing a lot with like postpartum depression and anxiety and stuff. And there's a lot of times where at night after my little guy goes to bed, I just kind of go into another room and I just listen to you guys, and it makes me feel just.
Oh, girl,
we got you. Don't worry.
Thank you.
All right.
You guys are awesome.
Anytime you need us, we're here.
Okay. Thank you guys. I love you guys.
You can come up with as many different names as you want to and just keep calling us.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, Shannon. Love you, girl.
Rolodex of names.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Yeah, love you too. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Amy. It's Roz and Mocha. How are you?
I'm good. How you guys?
Good. What's going on in your life?
I'm having a dilemma when it comes to kids.
Okay, you wrote us this. Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I'm married with an almost 2-year-old who I love dearly. My husband is talking about a second child, but I really don't want one. I would only have one to make my son not lonely and my husband happy. I had a really bad postpartum period, and I'm scared to go through that again. I also never really wanted kids in the first place and convinced myself for a long time to have just this one. Not sure what to do. Interesting.
So have you told your husband how you feel? Like everything that you just said to us in that note. Does he know all of that?
He does. I mean, he's very supportive, but I feel like deep down he's like, okay, I'll support you, but I'm really disappointed.
Oh my God, he said disappointed?
No, he didn't, but I just feel like that's what he feels, but he's not saying that.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a tough thing to navigate. When you guys sit down to have this conversation, like where does it start? Like does he come at this from, saying, this is why and this is why and this is why and this is why, or does he come at this and say, why don't you want to?
No, he's got a really big family, so I just known that he's wanted more since we started dating.
Yeah.
So he just kind of make a joke like, hey, if you had a daughter, you could be doing this, or he comes at it in a really like nice and supportive way, not anything else. And
so he's convinced you're going to have a daughter?
He's hopeful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always work out that way, though.
No.
Yeah, this stuff is really tough. Oftentimes, this is the kind of thing that is fixed through therapy, to be honest with you, through couples therapy. And even though you may have a rock solid relationship, you just need sort of somebody because to help you through the communication involved in something like this, especially when it comes to you not wanting to go through postpartum again. And because him, sort of only observing that from the outside and not having gone through anything like that himself, probably doesn't understand what it was actually like for you, because in those moments you got to be strong for everybody, right?
Absolutely.
And so he's only sort of hearing what that was like through stories as opposed to through actually seeing it, right? And that's the hard part for you to be able to articulate, is that you don't want to say like who hates a baby, you know what I mean? But to say that a baby is going to be bad for your mental health, or even how you're going to be able to look after the current kid that you have, those are hard things to talk about.
Yeah, it's guilt that
of course
kind of gets put on you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had the conversation with your husband about what it was like your experience going through postpartum?
We have.
Like to the extent of exactly how you were feeling day to day, because I'm sure those feelings still resonate with you today. Like you could still remember 100% clear, right?
Yes.
What you were going through?
You definitely don't forget what you go through.
Yeah.
We definitely shared those stories, but I think like Ross said, unless you go through it, it's really hard to fully understand exactly what it feels like and how traumatic it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not something that is a quick fix. How long has this been going on, these conversations between the two of you?
Since my son was born, 2 years.
Oh, so he started he started right away.
Oh yeah. Since the day he was born.
and even while you were going through postpartum.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Now, do you think he's getting pressure from his side of the family?
Oh, yes. Everyone's always asking us, when's the second one coming?
Yeah.
On both sides.
Oh, isn't that the worst? I hate that.
Yeah, they don't wait until the first one's out before they start asking.
No, but I would say that one of the conversations that you should have with him is, this is a conversation between the two of you, right? Mm-hmm. And one of the things that may help a little tiny bit is for you to say, hey, listen, the conversation's about a second kid. That is between me and you. What doesn't help is the outside pressure. So when that pressure comes around, when we're around your family and they start asking, when the second one is, in those situations, I need you on my side.
I agree. I like that a lot.
Not on their side. He can't step back and then let his family do the work. Right? Mm-hmm. He needs to be on your side in those situations. And whether that's shutting down a conversation or telling people, hey, we don't know, or, we're talking about it or we're not talking about it, he needs to be on your side. And whatever your side is what you choose.
I agree. I like that a lot. That's where the guilt comes from.
I don't think that you need to feel guilty. You shouldn't feel guilty.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're allowed to have the feelings that you have. Like you went through something traumatic.
Yeah.
But I agree with Roz. I think more conversations with your husband need to be had at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
And you gotta you gotta open up, right? And I know that he may not fully understand, but like we were talking earlier, maybe it's better to bring a third person in. Even though you guys have a great relationship, maybe it's better to talk through some of this stuff in front of somebody. Takes a little bit of the pressure off, and that way you're not coming at it from a place of guilt, because that is terrible. You feel like you're letting the family down, even though you're a great mom, and who wants to feel that way?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to do everything right for them. I don't want to disappoint them in any way.
Yeah, well, don't worry about the rest of the family. Mm-hmm. Like the disappointing in-laws, like who cares, right? Like really,
to worry about you. Really,
who cares? They don't know. Old people just love babies, right? That's
Absolutely.
it. That's it. They just love babies. They, it's not their life. It's your life. And who knows? The idea that you want to have another one just to keep your kid happy and entertained, so they have a buddy. You may also have a kid where they hate each other, and then you're dealing with that all the time, right?
Yeah.
Does that help, Amy?
It does.
Right,
potentially life-altering decisions. So we'll have to take it slowly.
Yeah, of course. Just have those convos, okay?
Okay. Thanks so much, guys.
You're welcome. How is your little guy?
He's great.
Yeah.
He's running around. He's talking. He's awesome. I love him so much.
Oh, that's great.
That's amazing. You're a good mom.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good day.
great
Bye-bye.
day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Loving the new season of Ted Lasso. Last season for the series, which I'm okay with. The way the storyline is going, I can see where and how they may wrap things up. I'm good with it. Brett Goldstein, a.k.a. Roy Kent, everybody loves.
Yeah.
He did this thing with Variety on their YouTube channel. Variety has celebrities talk about their favorite things. What's your favorite food? What's your favorite video game? What's your favorite movie? What's your favorite? And it's always catered to something that's pertinent to that person in their lives, right? So Roy Kent, Brett Goldstein was a part of their latest Fave Things video. And we start out with, what is Brett Goldstein's favorite meal?
Okay.
It would be the starters in a Chinese. You're talking duck and pancakes, you're talking spare ribs, you're talking seaweed, spring rolls. I'm a million different people, I told you.
Chinese food. Starters. Not too bad. This one is a little bit obvious. I don't know. Like, you could have asked me what I think Brett Goldstein's favorite sport is.
Oh, yeah.
And I would have been able to tell you.
Sure.
But here he is.
Football where people use their feet, hence football, not football where people use their hands and run into each other, which I've never understood how you get away with calling it that. Why isn't it called handball? Throwball. They almost never use their feet. Oh, it's football. Why do you call it football? Because we use our feet and there's a ball. It's handball. You throw it from a hand to another hand.
Listen, Roy Kent brings up a very good point. What is Brett Goldstein's favorite curse word?
Oh. Come on.
That was the next one, right? Because if you watch Ted Lasso and you know his character, Roy Kent, there's one word that comes to mind. But believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen.
However, he is English. And people, like, they'll throw the F around. But from experience, the favorite is actually C.
My favorite curse word you can't say in America. My favorite curse word apparently means something else here than it does in England. So I'm not going to say out variety. I use it as an expression of love to a friend, but here it's like, naughty.
Yeah, you are 100% right because they showed the word on the video on the screen. You are 100% right. This is Brett Goldstein with Variety talking about his favorite things and going back to his character Roy Kent on Ted Lasso. The question was, what is your favorite Roy Kent line?
I like when he takes in information and sometimes it takes four guys and then comes out. You can see it working in his head. Tick, 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 tick. I do swear a lot in real life. I'm also very angry, but I repress it in real life to the extent that if it weren't for playing Roy Kent, I'd probably have a hernia from it. I'm slightly more emotionally articulate than Roy Kent. The bit I wish I was most like him, I wish I had his early football skills. How about that? I ain't that good at football.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that about Roy Kent. I love when he gets so pissed off at something or disinterested or annoyed, and then he just goes into his room and he's like, okay.
That is Brett Goldstein, a.k.a. Roy Kent, talking to Variety about his favorite things.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
We already know that AI is going in a very scary direction.
Don't ruin my weekend with AI stuff, man.
Fans, I don't know if you've seen this, Roz. Fans have been taking some of your favorite artists, singers, and AIing their voice to sing songs, perform songs by some of our other favorite artists. I'm going to get to the latest one that was released of Drake singing a song that you never thought Drake would be singing.
This is such a wild world, man.
But somebody we'll start off actually with Drake. You remember his song Passion Fruit?
Listen, seeing you got ritualistic.
Right?
Cleansing my soul of
From the More Life album. So somebody took Ariana Grande's voice and AI'd it to see what it would sound like if Ariana Grande sang Passion Fruit by Drake.
Wow.
Like, this is not Ariana Grande, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, you used to have to be able to do this voice. You had to be like Jay Farrow, where you could mimic people, right? This is exactly what Jimmy Fallon... You know what Jimmy Fallon has people on who are great singers, and they're like, okay, sing Journey, but as Cher, right?
It's my jam.
Yeah, and Ariana Grande is one of the best at that.
She is one of the best at that.
Yeah. Do you guys remember... Oh, bro, I know you're going to know this song. Remember Rhythm of the Night by Corona?
Rhythm of the Night?
Bro, you know this song. Come on.
Okay. Oh.
So
my Rhythm of the Night is by El DeBarge, by the way.
Oh, facts. Yeah. So somebody took Rihanna's voice to sing Rhythm of the Night by Corona. And it sounds like this. Now, it doesn't sound like exactly, but there are parts of it where you're like, oh, yeah, that does sound a little bit like Rihanna.
Like, if you asked me who that was, I would say it was Rihanna. Right?
Okay, so
the people who do these things need to have better taste in music, though. You know what I mean?
But I think it's to show. I agree, but I think it's to show how
true,
how different a song is versus what a artist would typically sing.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
For example, we get now to Drake.
Okay.
And the song they chose to AI Drake's voice to is the song Bubbly by Colby Calais.
Will you count me in?
Do you guys remember this song?
Been awake for a while now.
I know.
It's a
You
beautiful
got me
song.
feeling like a child now.
Really, huh?
'Cause every time I see you,
Maybe when it gets to the main part, you might this part right here.
I get the tingles in a silly place. It starts in my toes and I crinkle my nose.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Thank you. You're right, Maurie. TV shows.
Grey's
right?
Anatomy.
Yes. Yeah. I got you.
So somebody AI'd Drake's voice
Oh, no.
to sing Bubbly by Colby Calais.
Will you count me in? We've been awake for a while now. You got me feeling like a child now. 'Cause every time I see your bubbly face, I get the tingles in a silly place. It starts in my toes and I crinkle my nose wherever it goes.
Yo, AI is insane, isn't it,
And
guys?
this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning.
Yes!
Like, kind of slaps.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet he does this at his next show.
Yes. Agreed.
Like, come on, if this goes even further,
is
like,
the
what are we gonna get?
This is
Are we
the
gonna get full albums of AI artists performing songs by other, like, real artists?
Well, see, here's the thing is that you have to then, like, they are going to have to rewrite parody laws because, like, you could do impressions of people, as parody and get away with it, right?
Yes.
Easily.
But you can't take somebody's voice and make it seem like they're singing a song by somebody else.
Will you count me in?
That part gets me.
We've been awake for a
I don't know,
while
man.
now.
I don't know.
Like, what do you do?
Like, there's so many legal issues with all of this. Like,
Every time I see your bubbly face, I get the tingles in a silly place. It starts in my
Like, they're now, like, the AI, it's starting to now get, like, inflection and proper tone.
yeah.
Right?
They're not far.
No.
They're not far.
There you go. That's AI Drake singing Bubbly by Colby Calais.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
People get so unnecessarily angry about anything. It's so wild. I was on Twitter over the weekend and an ad popped up, right? For these little solar lights that you attach to the sides of like outdoor stairs or like a garden bed or whatever, right? You just screw them in. Tiny little things, little square things that have a lip on the top of it that you can just stick on something, right?
Beautiful.
And I'm like, oh, cool, right? These look all right. And the price was right. And I wasn't going to buy them or anything, but I was just curious as to how people felt about these little lights. I didn't know the company. I didn't know anything.
Sure.
And there was a ton of comments underneath it. And I, like most people, I love reviews for things, right? I base a lot of what I buy on.
Never leave a review, but read all of them.
Thank you. I've never once left a review for something, right? Stupid. Who am I going to leave a review?
I know.
Right? But I rely so heavily on them.
So much time reading reviews.
Right.
That's me, bro.
If I sat there, and I get the messages from Amazon all the time, would you care to leave a review? And I reply, what am I, a simp? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not leaving a review.
I got that kind of time.
No,
You know how busy I am?
come on.
I gotta read other reviews.
So I'm looking at these little lights, right? And I'm like, they're kind of cool and they're cheap and who knows? And then I go looking at the comments, the replies to this ad for these tiny little solar lights that you stick on the sides of stairs and into your gardens. And I grabbed a bunch of them because I was just so amazed that these things, these tiny little lights, would offend people so much.
Okay,
I'm going to go through a bunch of the comments, okay, in the thread. Okay. LOL, this is so dumb. Okay? Please stop lighting up every space. Darkness is good and your eyes adjust. Install them in a garbage can. Somebody else wrote. Great. More light pollution.
What? Yo.
Okay? My favorite is ridiculous idea. Putting lights outside in the dark. Ridiculous idea. I thought we had an energy crisis. Solar lights.
Stupid.
Okay. This product is offensive.
Why?
Somebody else wrote. Nature needs light and darkness. Please don't confuse insects unnecessarily. Somebody else wrote. My favorite. Don't install any solar light if you don't need them absolutely and help the night insects to survive. The ones who need darkness to reproduce and prosper. Somebody goes on to say, nowhere is where I would install them. We need to encourage dark skies for nocturnal animals to thrive. tiny little solar lights. I'm not even joking.
But they're for stairs.
Somebody else wrote Chinese trash.
Oh my God. What?
Okay. This one. The whole world is in climate crisis, but they want us to buy this plastic crap. Climate change is a hoax.
They're solar lights.
Okay. My absolute favorite of all of them. Tiny, tiny, tiny little solar lights. Okay. My favorite comment. Great. Now you can't see the stars. Light pollution.
So how many did you buy?
I didn't now. I would have felt terrible.
You read all the reviews.
Right? I read all the reviews and I was
all
just
the
like...
poor nocturnal animals.
But never have I read reviews for something where I would feel not like I was making a mistake purchasing the product. But when I read the reviews for this and the reaction to these, had I purchased them, I feel that I would have felt like a bad person.
Right.
For buying them.
Right.
Because that's what Twitter does, right? They take anything and then that you might enjoy, and then they make you feel like a bad person for enjoying it.
I didn't realize people would care that much.
They care that much about everything, right? Where I was just like, man, I really don't want to hurt myself in the dark, right?
Meanwhile, you're ruining the
Yeah,
earth.
and now I'm Googling how to put your own cast on because you fell down the stairs, right?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Over the weekend, a song went viral featuring Drake and The Weeknd. Although it's not a real collaboration, as it is AI generated.
It's another. Wasn't there a thing last week?
Yes. So if you remember, there was a Drake AI of him singing, quote unquote singing, "Bubbly" by Colby Calais.
Will you count me in? We've been awake for a while now. You got me feeling like a child now. Cause every time I see your bubbly face, I get the tingles in a silly place. Starts in my toes and I crinkle my nose.
Crazy, man. AI is wild.
So there's another one now. The guy who created it goes by Ghostwriter and posted the song like on all of his or her channels, including Spotify, which is at now close to 300,000 streams since it was released. And you can get it on Apple Music, on Ghostwriter's like official album channel.
So who gets paid for this?
I guess it would have to go to this person, Ghostwriter, if anyone decides to buy it.
Is this a cover?
It's not a cover. The song is called Heart of My Sleeve, and it's all AI lyrics, Drake and The Weeknd. And it's basically... Just listen to this, okay? Just listen.
I came in with my ex like Celine or the flex. Bumping Justin Bieber, the fever ain't left. She know what she need, or her need, or she blessed. Giving my best. Yeah, I got my heart on my sleeve with a knife in my back. What's with that? 21, I love him, they're my brother, that's my stack. Metro made the beat, so you know that it's gon' slap. Yeah, it's gon' slap. Time, run it back. Talking to a diva, yeah, she on my nerves.
By the way, this is not really Drake singing this song.
No.
This is all AI generated. And then The Weeknd comes in with his verse.
Got these girls on my neck, got these girls on my track. Like Selena, baby, on my Gina, baby, yeah. She thinking a Lambo for a drive, it's an event door. Then she way out the store. I got my heart on my sleeve with the city on my back, ain't no doubt. Say she around, but can't find it on the map.
Like, come on, man.
I mean, it's not much of a song.
It's very much in the vein of what Drake and The Weeknd do anyway, right? With some of their tracks.
Yeah. But it sounds like, because when you start getting into the world of where singers put so much effect on their voice, it's very easy to AI because they already sound sort of not human.
Sure. With certain songs,
With certain songs. Like it's you would expect it. Like it doesn't seem unusual when you hear somebody sort of sound a little robotic or a little less organic.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's completely plausible. But if So AI wrote the lyrics? Like nobody wrote the lyrics for this?
Well, that I don't know. The way I understand it is that when you come up with these AI tracks, like you actually have to write the lyrics and say, hey, unless there are different variations that I just don't know.
But why not go into Chat GPT and say, hey, create lyrics for a song that would sound great with both Drake and The Weeknd?
They may have done it that way.
And they may have done it.
Yeah, could have been.
By the way, Colby Calais responded.
What did she say?
She posted it to her TikTok and mouthed along to Drake singing it, saying, this is really cool. What a trip.
Well, because she makes money off it.
Of course she
But
does.
who makes money off this?
Well,
Like,
it would
that's
have to be the
crazy
guy
thing.
or girl, whoever the producer is that put this together, this ghostwriter person who's got a Spotify channel, Apple Music channel. So any of the streams are going to go.
But how does he not get his ass suit off?
Oh, I'm sure it'll happen. I'm sure all these people doing AI generated songs. Like there was one that I heard on the weekend of on top of this Drake and The Weeknd song, somebody took Biggie and Tupac and gave them the lyrics to Paris by Jay-Z and Kanye.
But is it illegal though?
I was just going to say, what are you suing for? It's not really them.
I don't know what the law is.
I'm sure the law is going to change because something like this, because fans were going nuts. Like even people who knew that this was an AI generated song were like loving it and streaming it like crazy, being like, yo, this is my favorite. Like we haven't had a Weeknd and Drake collaboration in forever. This will do.
Like if somebody wants to make a ton of money, like seriously a ton of money, why not do a Drake Christmas album?
Bro, don't put that out in the universe.
Right? And drop it, American Thanksgiving.
Someone may actually see
right?
that.
Like if you want to never work again, ever, drop a Drake Christmas album.
All right, I'll do it.
like seriously.
But that's a song that people were freaking out over.
Crazy, man.
Over the weekend. Drake and The Weeknd AI version of a song called Heart of My Sleeve, where they're singing about Selena Gomez.
Yeah, I know.
The Weeknd's ex.
Yes. like it's crazy.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
Hey, did you see this Anthony Bass tweet from the Jays?
No, what happened?
So, oh man, this blew up.
How did I not see this?
So it's a picture of his two kids sitting on seats on an airplane.
Okay.
From the side that his wife took and sent to him. And he tweeted, the flight attendant on United just made my 22-week pregnant wife traveling with a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess my youngsters made. Are you kidding me? And then underneath them on the floor is all sorts of just like popcorn everywhere. So I guess the flight was landing. The flight attendants walked by, saw the giant mess, told the mom, you're going to have to clean this up. Right? And then everybody was immediately divided. So the top comment is, genuinely curious who should clean up the mess your 2-year-old made. As a parent of 3 kids, I am the one responsible for them. And then Anthony replied, the cleaning crew they hire. And it divided people. It really, really did. And United then wound up getting in on this, saying, hey, Anthony, we're certainly understanding and concerned, and we'd like to look into this. When you have a moment, please DM your wife's confirmation number along with blah, blah, blah. And then his own updates, because people were just going in on him, was one last comment about today's incident. United provided the popcorn, not my wife. So I guess that's an important detail. And then he says, thank you to everyone for your support. United Airlines is taking care of the matter with the flight attendant internally.
Ooh. See, I feel two ways about it. Like, don't be making so much of a mess, right? I get it. But at the same time, she's a mom traveling with 2 youngsters. She's solo on that trip. Like, I'm not going to expect her necessarily to, like, I'm not going to go in on her. You know what I mean? But at the same time, if kids are making a mess, like, clean it up.
I really do believe that. I really do. I think that if your kids, whether they're 5 and 2, and I know it's a long flight and flying with kids is terrible, even if they gave them the popcorn and everything, I think that if your kids make a mess, you clean up the mess.
Even if you don't get all of it.
No, you have to at least attempt to clean up the mess.
And maybe
You
even
can't-
just say to the flight attendant, hey, tried my best here, right?
Yeah, can I even if you just say, "Hey, can I get a bag to clean up the popcorn?"
Yeah, I'm gonna.
At which
try to do my
point the
best.
flight attendant might say at that point, "Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. We got it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You got a lot going on here." Shem,
What would be the difference if this happened in, let's say, a movie theater or like a sporting place where your kids make a mess, and like, would your opinion change on that? Because that's tough. I mean, I get that it's a plane, so the expectation for mess is probably not as much, but still, what happens if it's in a movie theater?
Yeah, I think that those situations are slightly different, though. Well, I mean, if I had a kid who was about to leave their garbage on the floor and get up and walk into the theater, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Right.
Always take your garbage with you.
You pick it up and you throw it in the trash. Like you do your best.
As someone who used to clean movie theaters,
Yes.
like I know that they're always a disaster. But the difference, I think, to this point is that on an airplane there isn't a cleaning staff on the flight. It's the flight attendants who provide the food for you to eat. It's not their job to clean. In a movie theater, the staff go in there specifically to clean with a broom after each screening.
But as soon as every flight lands, cleaning staff go in and they clean the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
For every single flight. Like I don't get on flights where there's popcorn on the floor.
No, but they clean. They take the trash bag when they go around and pick up the trash that you put in the trash bag.
But what I'm saying
they go
is,
around
is
and you
just
put
like
it in the bag
just
yourself.
like a movie theater, there are people who are paid to clean the plane.
Yes, but I think the difference is that the flight staff go up and down the aisles with a big garbage bag.
But they're
for you
not
to put the trash in.
they're not the ones who would be cleaning this.
No,
it's when the plane lands.
Yeah,
the cleaning
flight staff
comes
don't
in.
do it. Yeah.
Again, I have mixed feelings because she, again, traveling solo, two young kids, and she's pregnant. Right?
I get it.
I'm not gonna go in on a pregnant woman for not getting on her hands and knees and cleaning up.
And I need to know
for sure.
exactly what was said because that's the part of this. You know, like did they come by and were they real snarky about it, like pointing to the ground, being like, "Take care of this lady,"
or saying a little too loudly where it's gonna embarrass her.
Yeah,
in front of everyone.
Yeah, I don't know, but like
That's
it's,
what's missing.
It's a big mess though. Like it really.
Somebody just texted. Here's what they texted. I used to be a flight attendant, and even if there was a huge mess made by kids, I would never ask them to clean it. It is what it is.
Yeah, I know it's tough. It's really like did she not try? Like, was she being snarky? Like, how does it? Go ahead, Shem.
Yeah, I kind of think this would be different if she wasn't pregnant. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like if she wasn't pregnant, I think the outrage would probably be a little bit different, right? But
I think the problem is like, should he have taken it to Twitter?
Well, that's what people do.
That's what people do. Everybody does that, right?
Yeah. When you get a problem with a company, like you take it to Twitter and you got a big loud voice, right? That's
so
just
what's the
what
result
they do.
now? Like the flight attendant's going to get
I don't know, man.
speaking to?
Yeah, well, it was even worded like I don't even know how they told him because sometimes when like a celebrity kicks up a big stink, like some companies just go above and beyond, right? And so what he said, what Anthony Bass said, was thank you everyone for the support. First of all, mixed. United Airlines is taking care of matters with the flight attendant internally. So like whatever that means. Like, is somebody going to get fired for this?
I hope not. Let me read one more text.
Yeah.
That just came in. As a former flight attendant, there isn't a cleaning crew after every flight. Often it's every 4 flights if it's a short haul. So it is the flight attendants to clean up that mess.
Yeah, so somebody does clean it, whether it's a cleaning crew or the flight attendants. They clean up the plane.
Yeah.
Right? Every now and then when you get on a plane, that's why I never put my hand in that front pocket, man.
Oh, there's always a Kleenex in there.
Things get left behind.
It's a little surprise.
That's where the devil lives.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm Joanne.
Joanne,
and
what's going on?
I listen to you every morning on my way to work. I love it. It's actually one of the bright spots in my drive. I love you and Roz and Mocha and Shem and anybody else that appears on your show. But I just wanted to weigh in a little bit on the popcorn dilemma. You know, the other angle about, traveling with kids, going to restaurants and things like that. I mean, when my kids are in their 20s and 30s now, but I'm a parent coach, and very often I'll say to the parents, what about the responsibility of the children? They, even as little, I work with 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. They're very helpful. You can say to them, listen, guys, you got to clean up some popcorn here. We made a mess. It's our responsibility to clean it up. And you do your best, and I agree with everybody that's saying, you do your best and then you move on. But to think that everybody should just be running around cleaning up after your kids, I think, that's unhelpful for everybody. and unhelpful for the children because they don't get the keen idea of responsibility as far as their part in things. So that's how we, when at school, when kids, paint all over the place, and we just say, okay, we got a job, let's get it done, and we get them to do most of the work, and we help them, and they get the idea that, okay, when I make a mess, I have to clean up. Maybe I don't want to make so much of a mess.
Yeah, I think that the one piece of information that's missing was there an attempt made? Right? Like, did the mom say to the kids, clean up some of this popcorn, or did the mom say anything to any of the flight attendants? Hey, I apologize for the big mess that was made. Let me try to help clean it up, or something. Like, that's the one bit that we don't know, right?
Which I'm guessing by the tone of the tweet, the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It sounds to me like it's a baseball player. Is it a baseball player?
Yeah, it's a baseball player. Yeah.
So I think maybe there's a little bit of entitlement there, and they're thinking, how dare somebody ask my wife to tidy up after my children on a flight that there's apparently cleaning crews. Like, it doesn't matter whether there's cleaning crews or whether there's, you have to, I think if we walk around just expecting everybody to clean up our messes, whether that be actual or, like literally or sort of not literally, that's a problem for everybody in society. So I work with a lot of parents and I see a lot of things when I go out to restaurants and things like that. And I think, oh my God, like there's this idea that kids can just run around and be crazy.
Well, let's not even talk about how much of a mess he and his teammates leave that dugout at the end of every game.
Oh yeah,
that somebody's got to clean up, right?
Spit, sunflower seed shells,
like all of it. Like,
hey, Joanne.
Just a disaster.
You are wonderful. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you for calling into the show today.
Well, thanks a lot for answering my call, and I like I said, I love you guys.
Oh, we love you right back.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let me play this for you.
Please.
This girl named Katya Joanna.
Okay.
Posted this on Instagram.
I need you all to go on Google or Google Maps and type in Drake's house. It shows his address right away. This was a discovery I made, but that's not even the point. The reviews. Please go read the reviews. I promise you will have a good laugh and you will thank me for it. You're welcome.
So people are leaving reviews.
A second. Hold on now.
For Drake's house.
Come on.
His mansion in Toronto.
But don't you think I'm not going to Google Maurie's condo right after I Google Drake's house?
By the way, Drake calls his house the embassy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. So can I read to you some of the reviews that people have written?
Oh, my God.
There are a ton, and they reference a lot of some of the Troll Job reviews reference a couple of Drake's tracks,
please, go ahead. Yeah.
The bedding was nicely tucked with mitered corners. All of the light bulbs worked, even the small ones lining staircases and such. And the duck confit was superb. Love that they offer valet, but the price was weird. It was, quote, the square root of 69. $8 something? I couldn't figure it out, so I just parked the car myself. Sorry about the grass. Referencing the Drake line from Rihanna, What's My Name?
The square root of 69 is 8 something, right? Because I've been trying to work it out.
Another review says, the place was very crowded. Drake had 200 girls in his house. I did like it when he shared me some. Overall, okay, but the breakfast was just passion fruit. Referencing Drake's song, Passion Fruit.
Passionate from miles away.
Again, when you Google Drake's house and click on reviews, the trolls are all out.
Oh, it's so crazy.
Another reference to a Drake song. Terrible service. I asked 21 to do something for me, and he spat on my face. Literally, the worst interior as well. 3 out of 10. Would not recommend.
Oh, damn.
Referencing the Drake and 21 Savage song, Rich Flex, where the beginning it goes,
21, can you do something for me? Can you hit a little rich flex for me?
So a lot of reviews are, I asked Drake to do something for me, or I asked 21 Savage to do something for me. So with that latest one that I read to you, terrible service, I asked 21 to do something for me and he spat on my face. Literally the worst interior as well. 3 out of 10, would not recommend.
Damn.
Somebody, I don't know who, but someone is going in and responding.
Like as the owner?
As the owner.
Come
yes.
on.
So to that one, someone said, I'm sorry you had this experience. As a company, we strive for excellence, and this is against the way we want our customers to be treated. We will sort this out with 21 right away. Another person wrote, was absolutely fun staying there. Drake beat me one-on-one in basketball, but I wasn't playing serious, and he knows it. Another person simply wrote, Wi-Fi sucked, with a response from the owner. Thank you for letting us know. We will fix this as one of our top priorities. Could you please let me know what area of the home you were in when you experienced this problem? Again, these are reviews that people are leaving.
Crazy, though, that
when you Google Drake's house.
That the address is right there.
Oh, I got in trouble for parking out front once.
Yeah, it's crazy, though. But, like, I understand, like, everybody knows where Drake's house is, but to just Google Drake's house and then the address comes up. Postal code and everything.
Oh, my God, we should mail a letter.
Finally, somebody wrote, I'm in a bad mood today. Drake invited the 3 of us to visit, but he's still not at home.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Roz and Mocha.
What up, what up? So I heard y'all talking about Drake's house. So I happen to drive by it like every single day on Lawrence going over towards like Bayview and stuff. So like, yeah, it's Drake's house. So one day I was killing some time parked close to his house, coincidentally, by a couple pylons. So I guess it looked like I was maybe a contractor or something. So I'm sitting there in my truck right down the street from his house. And in the corner of my eye, someone taps on the hood, and I look up. It's not Drake, but it's, guess who? Gordon Lightfoot, asking me if I'm doing work around the area.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, the guy, I got to say, Gordon Lightfoot, like this guy, I guess on his off time, he wears his pants like Steve Urkel. And
he's old, man. He's old. He's
I
old.
know he is. My mom's upset that he's canceled his Canada-U.S. tour because of his health. But I thought it was cool. Like, he just taps, like he used his key. I'm like, first of all, don't be marking up my truck, man. But hey,
did you just call the Roz and Mocha Show to have a conversation about Gordon Lightfoot?
Hold on, no, I'm interested in this. I'm interested. Okay, yeah. So he had the audacity to tap the car hood with his keys?
Yeah, and then I rolled the window down before I recognized who he was. He's like, so you doing some work in the neighborhood? And I'm like, well, first of all, like, easy, bud. Like, you just don't mark my car with your keys. But then I'm like, dude, you're Gordon Lightfoot. He's like, yeah, just going for a walk. I was like, okay, cool. But, but he thought I was working in the neighborhood. So
what'd you say?
I said I wasn't. I was killing time.
Oh.
Mocha, you could run into Gordon Lightfoot and you would never even know, right?
No.
Like you could have the same experience and you would not come out of it with a cool Gordon Lightfoot story.
No, I could not tell you if Gordon Lightfoot is an artist. Like prior to you saying he canceled his concert,
yeah,
I wouldn't have been able to tell you if he was a singer, if he was a member of a band, if he was an author.
You didn't hear Gordon Lightfoot before, Mocha?
No, Mocha's never heard of Gordon Lightfoot.
No, I've heard the name, but I just don't know.
You don't know what he's famous for.
No, like an actor. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, no, man. He puts Aurelia on the map, man.
Yeah, he puts Aurelia on the map, man.
Yo, big Aurelia.
Don't you know this?
Yo, but your truck's okay, right?
Right?
My truck's okay. I'm going to go double check. If I have a mark on it, I know where he lives. He lives directly pretty much across the street from Drake's house. So I will knock on his door and be like, hey, bud, it's going to cost me like $70.
Man, cool neighbor, huh? I don't know. In this story, I don't know who has the cooler neighbor. I don't know if Gordon Lightfoot has the cooler neighbor in Drake or Drake has the cooler neighbor in Gordon Lightfoot.
I never really listened to him like growing up, but like after meeting him and Googling him, obviously I knew who he was. There's a really cool YouTube video of Bob Dylan accepting an award on behalf of Gordon Lightfoot, and Gordon Lightfoot storms on stage and give me my damn award. Give me my damn award.
Right.
So,
He's sort
pretty
of
cool.
He looks like a little bit like a Bond villain. right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
he got that. Yeah,
like a sexy Bond villain.
He sort of looks like, now when I saw him, he looks like the guy who played Kill Bill. He looks like the actor.
David
Kill Bill
Carradine?
actor.
Yeah, a little like David Carradine. Yeah.
But the aged version.
Yeah.
And you know the song "If You Could Read My Mind"?
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they redid that too, didn't they?
Stars on 54.
I don't know what song that is.
If you could read my mind.
Yeah, they're like Chris
Oh,
Shepard.
okay, hold on.
Yeah, Chris Shepard did that. I think.
Bro, you are bringing up so many references that nobody has any idea what you're talking about.
How old are you, 1,000?
Jesus.
No,
how
man,
old
I'm
are
40.
you?
I'm 40 years
You're
old,
40?
man. I'm 40.
Here, turn my computer for 1 second, Mocha. Let's enjoy some Gordon Lightfoot here.
I'm looking. I can't wait.
Stop talking.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Bro.
If you could read my mind, love, what a tale my thoughts could
You know this song, right?
It sounds familiar. I know the dance version.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was a cover, though.
Right. Everything's a cover.
Was that a Love Inc. cover?
Bro, you got to stop with the references that nobody understands.
Chris Shepard, man. Come on.
Dude, shut up. I'm not going to tell you again.
Jesus.
If I say something and you say something else right afterwards, I swear to God, man. Okay, that's it.
Brother, thank you so much for calling in.
All right,
You are the
guys.
best.
Later.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I was reading the story of this woman in Massachusetts.
Uh-oh.
Who's a waitress and tried her luck with the lottery using her tip money. And she played a set of numbers on Keno. Numbers came up, 100 grand.
Whew.
Decides to try her luck 3 weeks later using the exact same numbers, playing Keno once again. Numbers come up.
The same?
100 grand.
The same?
Exact same numbers come up. 3 weeks later, she wins 100 grand again.
That's rude.
Her son decides to try his luck, also playing Keno, using his mom's numbers, 100 grand winner.
Excuse me.
3 lottery plays from 2 people in the same household using the exact same numbers, each time winning $100,000.
And the FBI showed up how many hours later?
Oh, 0. Could you imagine, though?
No. I don't know. God, that is like, you would be on such a high. Like, I think that if I played 3 numbers on something like Keno and won, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think even like you win 100 grand. Like, you're not retiring. You're like, you're paying off some bills and you're out of the woods, right?
Maybe go on a vacation.
Go on a vacation. Yeah, like help out some people. But you're still living your life at that point. But I think that I would be on such a high from winning 100 grand on Keno that I don't know if I would have the foresight to play again. Like I think I would miss it. You know what I mean? Like, and then to play again with the same numbers. Like, I think that I would just be so happy that I wouldn't go back to the well with the same numbers again. Like, it's such a weird thing.
She did it. Got the money. Her son did it. Got the money.
That's 300 grand. That's
the last time I was maybe hopeful, but so convinced. Actually, not convinced. It was just hopeful that I was going to win the lottery. And I played a lot of money.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago when one of the jackpot, I played 3 different lotteries where the jackpot payouts were on different days, right?
Yeah.
So it was like the Friday night jackpot was like 60 mil. And then the Monday night jackpot, I think, was 20.
Right.
And then I played one where it was like cash for life, $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
Right. And I always get Encore because I always feel like Encore is going to help push you over the edge.
How many Encores do you do?
Encore, I did one play, I did 5 Encore. The next play, I did the Monday night. So Friday night one, I did 5. The Sunday night one, I did 5. And then the daily, I think I did 3.
Oh, damn.
Maybe. Yeah.
Damn.
And not like, I think I won like a free play.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people know that you could do more than one Encore.
No, you can do as many as you want, can't you?
No, there's a limit.
Or 10, maybe 10 is the limit, right?
Because here's the thing is that when I only noticed, good point, Maurie, I only noticed that you can load up on Encore when I started buying lotto tickets on the app. Because when you're in the store, when you go to the store and you say, hey, can I get whatever quick picks? And they say, do you want Encore? And you say yes, they just do one.
They just give you one, yeah.
Nobody
but
ever,
on the app, it's so easy.
Yeah, nobody ever says, how many Encores do you want? The question is only, do you want Encore?
You can do 10, and I only learned this year that you can do more than one.
Yeah. I only learned, exact same thing. Because even in the commercials, right, it was always like, do you want Encore? Because I just assumed that it was once.
Yeah. Give me Encore on that Encore.
You can spend a lot of money when you start stacking Encore onto a ticket. Bro. I depleted I played the lotto 2 weeks ago or something like that. And I depleted my my wallet on the app fast.
You have to do the update on the app because now you can just charge your card. You don't have to load up your wallet.
Oh, you don't?
No, you can just do debit or card.
And they only let you load up, and then I get the message being like, you have to wait 24 hours. Right? I'm like, come on, you don't know me.
And then when you sign up, it says, are you... Not drunk. Are you?
Are you drunk?
Yeah. No, it's
if you're eligible or if you're sane or something like that to play.
It says, are you sane?
Yes. Are you sane and sober?
No.
Yes.
Something like that.
I believe it is. I believe that's the exact terminology.
Yo, shout out to OLG. Yeah. Hold on. I love the app. Hold on.
Yeah. I like going. I have to go into the store to do it. I want people to watch me play.
Yeah. If you, I believe when you go to check out, they say, if you buy this ticket, will it prevent your child from going to summer camp? Right. They're really monitoring your spending. They're really involved. Which I appreciate. Right. I really do.
I'm already logged in, so I can't. Oh, hold on here. Oh, I am eligible and fit to play. That's what it says.
And fit to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you drunk?
Yeah. I went to check out. It said, did you buy groceries? Yeah. First. Buy groceries first.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Remember that video of Rainn Wilson where he was on a plane?
Oh, yeah.
So Rainn Wilson from The Office, Dwight Schrute, beat Farmers Unite. So
Bears Battlestar Galactica.
So he was on a flight in first class and he had a COVID mask on, right? And he was sitting there and he was filming himself. And then he turned the camera sideways, and the guy who was sitting beside him in the seat was sitting there just watching The Office, episodes of The Office over and over and over again while he was eating. And he had no idea that he was sitting beside Dwight Schrute as he was watching The Office. And this story blew up. And you and I had talked about it where you thought maybe he knew the guy. And
I just found it very suspect. Yeah.
Right. So because it blew up, Rainn Wilson had to post a video sort of giving people the update on whether the guy actually wound up recognizing him during the flight. How did this end? What's the end of the story, right? So here's Rainn Wilson.
Hey, everybody. How cool that video the other day went viral of me sitting on the airplane with the guy watching The Office next to me. Slow news day? It's front page news, CNN. Very weird. Anyway, everyone keeps asking me, did the guy ever recognize you? And yes. So after 5 hours of watching The Office, I finally nudged him. I was like, oh, it seems like you like that show. And I was slowly taking my mask off. And he's like, yeah, I really like it a lot. I was like, oh, I heard it was not so good. He's like, well, it starts really slow. The first season is kind of questionable. And I was slowly taking my mask off. And I was like, oh, not so good, huh? The first season? He's like, yeah, but once you get into it and get to know the characters. And I was like, yeah, but that first season kind of sucks. It's really bad. That's too bad. That the first season sucks. And then he recognized me and his head exploded. And we had a nice laugh. So, happy ending.
So the guy really was a stranger.
Yeah, he really was a stranger.
Next to Dwight.
But the crazy thing is that Office fans are so protective of The Office. So Rainn Wilson talks about how slow news day and how did this thing go so viral and how did it make so much news, everything else. And so he posts this video, right? Being like, the guy talked to me and then I was slowly playing the whole thing. When you go into Rainn Wilson's comments on that video, It is 100% people just going in on this poor stranger.
Oh, no.
Because they're defending season 1 of The Office.
What? Listen, I would be with all those defenders as well.
Yeah.
Standing there, being like, did you not watch and enjoy Diversity Day?
Bro, it's crazy.
Even episode 1?
It's crazy.
The pilot?
Now,
come on.
Now it's become a debate about defending whether the first season of The Office was the weakest season. That's what this whole thing has become.
No, it wasn't.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think like season 7.
7 was the weakest.
Right?
Yeah.
7
That's the last, spoiler alert, I guess. That's the last non-Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Last Michael Scott season.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the weakest.
Yeah. And because in season 2, it was so different because Michael Scott got that glow up, right?
Oh, big time.
Because he came back and his hair was so different and he lost weight because in between season 1 and season 2 is when he went and did the 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Which is
So he became a movie star.
Yeah.
Right. And then he came back and he wasn't.
And it helped propel the show.
And it helped propel the show. Exactly. But he wasn't sort of frumpy like he was in the first season.
I got to go watch Diversity Day.
I
Season
know.
1. Classic. One of the best.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Hell of a Story.
Yo, Savannah, how are you? It's Roz and Mocha.
Hey, Roz and Mocha. I'm so happy to talk to you guys.
Welcome to Roz and Mocha's Hell of a Story, Savannah. Where and when does your Hell of a Story take place?
My hell of a story is my entire career because I work with alligators and crocodiles. Pretty much gigantic ones, some of the biggest in the world.
What do you mean you work with alligators and crocodiles?
So I do conservation first and foremost, but I also do enrichment, which means I think of games for alligators and crocodiles to play that keeps them entertained and fun. And then I also do a lot of training with them.
Real quick, Savannah, where do you live? Where are you from?
Florida, of course.
Of course. Okay, so you've built your life around playing games with alligators and crocodiles.
Well, it's kind of games, but it keeps their mind sharp. Like I'm constantly thinking of activities to help them do something fun.
What is life like for you as a sort of woman crocodile playmate?
Well, I definitely don't get a lot of dates.
No.
No.
What guys don't want to date you because you're a crocodile handler?
I think because they're afraid I'm going to die or get eaten or limbs ripped off or something like that, because that's what most people think about when they think about alligators and crocodiles.
Can you tell us like one game that maybe you play with these crocodiles?
So one game we play at Gatorland is called Don't Get Bit. And what we do is... And what we do is we go into like a habitat, but we'll go from 3 different directions with a big group of crocodiles and alligators. And then the goal of the game is to get them to chase you because that's like a natural behavior we're trying to duplicate, right? So we like throw pieces of meat at each other and get them to run at different ones of us so that we can run back and forth, and then they get to do a little hunting.
And nobody wants to date you, huh?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I think I'm pretty cute. Like, if you saw my picture, you probably would think.
I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at a picture of you right now, and do not take this the wrong way because I think you're adorable, okay? I think that you look just like Florida.
I am Florida.
Okay, if you could picture Florida, but as a woman who handles crocodiles for a living, that is exactly Savannah. Like you sort of look like Anna Nicole Smith, right?
Yeah, but I think a little bit better.
Always smiling. Like every picture I'm looking at, you always got a giant smile on your face.
That's because I'm always happy. And if I had to pick a boyfriend that was a state, Florida would be that 100%. I love Florida.
Okay, good. So you're having a hard time dating because people think that you're going to die, right?
Yes, pretty much, yes.
And is it because, do you also think that maybe it's because that you are able to handle incredibly dangerous things and maybe that might be intimidating to men?
I do think it's intimidating, definitely. So there's 2 sides of it, really. Like I think the men or whoever I might want to date, they're kind of like, whoa, either, she's crazy or, whoa, she's going to die one day. But then the internet, like the entire internet, because I have a big social media, Like, they're continuously hoping that I die, and it makes me so sad.
Okay. But here's the question then. Have you almost died?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's the nature of the business, right?
Okay, Savannah, tell us that story.
Yeah. Well, how have you almost died? Give us one example here.
So last year I was in Australia, and we were doing some crocodile surveying. That's where you go out and count how many crocodiles are there. And I don't know if the crocodiles in Australia just weren't familiar with me or my big hat, but I was in a teeny little boat, and we're going through the water, and all of a sudden, like a 17-foot crocodile, like I see me from a distance, and it turns its head, and it comes over to the boat, and it tries to jump into the boat, so I have to lay in the bottom of the boat. And when I say boat, I'm talking about like a little John boat. And so I'm in the bottom of the boat, and I can see the crocodile's head swoosh over the top of it, and the boat's rocking back and forth. And so I'm down there, and I'm screaming, and then, again, he comes from the other side and tries to tip the boat the other way. Things like that, have happened more than one time.
Oh, my God.
Jeez.
Have any of your crocodiles ever almost killed you?
So every now and then at Gatorland, which is like the Disneyland of alligators and crocodiles, sometimes people come to the park and they're trying to take a picture and they get scared and they lose their phone.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in a little boat and we were underneath a deck trying to retrieve this lady's phone, and I was about to get out of the boat, and then one of the biggest Nile crocodiles we have in the park, his name is Lyle the Nile crocodile, his head pops up right eye to eye with my head. And so, again, that's a moment where you start screaming as loud as you can, like screaming. And I think my screaming scared him because he didn't expect us to be there to begin with. So they got scared, and then he swung around, and then his tail hit the boat, and then we were rocking in the boat underneath the deck in the pitch black dark. Terrifying. But we did retrieve the phone, and it was for a lady that lives in Russia.
Damn.
And before we let you go, you described a game earlier called Don't Get Bit, which
That's the favorite game.
That's the favorite game. Has anybody ever lost?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
The rules are if somebody ever does get bit, then we have to think of a new game.
It's called Find the Foot.
Wow,
Savannah Bone, thank you so much. And that was one hell of a story. And are you fine? Like, are your DMs open? If somebody looks you up right now and then they want to slide into your DMs,
yeah.
Are you cool with that?
Oh, absolutely. Just don't send me any weird photos. Like, restrain yourself in that regard.
Okay. Well, if anyone wants to go check out your account right now, do you want to shout out what your @ is?
At Savannah Bone.
And
so you guys can flood it from Canada. I've never been to Canada, but I'm coming one day.
Hold on, wait a second. Shem, our executive producer, is looking you up right now. Wait till the reaction on Shem's face. You are so Shem's type, Savannah. Wait for it.
Shem's about to send you a plane ticket real quick.
Shem's making some low noises like he's communicating with gators right now, is what he's doing.
Thank you very much for joining us on Hell of a Story today.
Oh, thanks for having me. Love you guys so much.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Weekend number 1 of Coachella went down. And a late edition on Friday had Blink-182 hit the stage.
Oh, yeah?
Fans
for the first time in like...
Forever.
Yeah.
Friday night, I woke alone to get the feeling right. We started making
Sounds great.
and she took them and danced.
Yeah, they sound amazing, right?
Yeah.
That's about the time she walked away from me.
The crowd was totally into it. And of course, another fan favorite, super popular from Blink-182. I love it when artists or bands play and you know that the crowd knows the words.
Yeah,
So you just mute yourself and let the crowd do their thing.
Oh, I don't like when they do that.
No?
No,
Oh, I
I'm
love
not
it.
Oftentimes singers do it when they can't do what they used to do, right?
Sure. I always thought it was just for the enjoyment. Like, let the crowd do their thing.
Yes, there's that too,
Right?
for sure. But a lot of the oftentimes when a singer in like a rock band throws his mic to the audience for the high parts,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's because they can't do it anymore.
I really hope they get things figured out for this coming weekend because Bad Bunny had a bad experience on stage.
Why? What happened?
Just mic problems.
Oh,
his entire set. Even brought out Post Malone at one point. Crowd went nuts. Post Malone grabs the guitar and then like nothing's happening. And it's just like crowd just standing around.
Those tickets are expensive for Coachella too.
Oh, bro, thousands. Ridiculous. And then like nobody could hear anything. Actually felt really bad.
Yeah. So did they perform at all?
Yeah. I mean, they did,
eh?
but it wasn't to the level that you would expect from somebody of Bad Bunny's kind of status in music right now, right?
Right,
and Post Malone, he just released a new song. And he's just like really good live. And then Bad Bunny just starts talking to the crowd. Metro Boomin, who is a producer and has got an album out, and he's worked with like a ton of folks, right?
Yeah.
Had Diddy come out right when he was about to play the song Creepin'. And then Diddy brings out The Weeknd.
Coachella! Playing me, keep it on the low. Sing the song, come on. 'Cause my heart can't take it anymore. Sing the song, Coachella!
So a crowd starts singing, and then The Weeknd steps out on stage and starts singing his part.
Somebody said they saw you. The person you repeated was.
Billie Eilish performed as well. Calvin Harris performed. Frank Ocean he closed out night one, or weekend one, I guess. So if you see Frank Ocean still trending right now on Twitter, it's just like all of his performance. You can basically see Frank Ocean's entire performance on Twitter right now. Yeah.
Do we know which performance Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello were watching when they were making out?
I know.
I saw that the
Oh,
story.
Dirty Dancing too?
But I don't know who they were making out to.
Interesting.
Now, do you think it's just like they're just feeling the Coachella vibes?
Yeah, I think I think they ran into each other and were like, but they were out in the open making out too.
Yeah, they don't care.
No, but it was like when Harry Styles was making out with what's her name against the
Emily Ratajkowski?
against the minivan in Japan.
No, but they were trying to hide, weren't they?
No, they were just in a parking lot. But at Coachella, like Shawn Mendes,
They're surrounded by thousands.
I know. And doesn't he have a girlfriend who's like 52?
Yeah, the chiropractor.
She's gonna break Camila's back.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Have you started watching The Night Agent on Netflix yet?
Seen it.
The whole thing?
Yep.
All 10 episodes?
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Loved it.
One of those shows where I just saw it like on the homepage as like one of the top 10.
Yeah.
And then moving like every couple of days, moving up the ranking.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. It's one of those shows that when the way that it starts is it evolves so much that by the time you get to the end, it's like a completely different story. Like it's so deep. They did a really, really good job.
It's renewed for, there's going to be a second season.
Is there? I hope so.
It's already been renewed.
Yeah, it was really good.
The plot reads this. The Night Agent is a 10-episode thriller series that follows a low-level FBI agent who works nights in the basement of the White House, manning a phone line for undercover spies that never rings.
Yeah.
But one day it does, setting into motion a chain of events that uncovers a conspiracy that reaches all the way to the Oval Office.
Have you ever heard of Night Action? It's a top-secret investigative program within the FBI.
So you want me to be a night agent?
God, no. I want you to answer the phone for them. It rarely rings.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm in danger. There's intruders. What do I do?
It's gonna be all right. I'm on my way.
Yeah, it's
just
good.
a trailer.
It's
alone.
very good.
Very
yeah,
good.
it's really great.
David Maurie had a chance to talk to the star of The Night Agent. His name is Gabriel Basso. Is that how you pronounce it?
That's right. As a fellow beard guy myself, I just pulled food out of it.
Oh, by the way, the way the interview starts, it's very weird.
Okay.
As most Damn It Maury interviews go.
Yes.
As they should.
Information that I don't believe needed to be given out.
So Gabriel has a beard now because he does not have one in the show.
No, but listen. As a fellow beard guy myself, I just pulled food out of it. I apologize. I read that you almost didn't get this part because you had a beard. What was the story?
Well, I was on another job, and so I had a beard, and then so for continuity, I couldn't shave it for an audition. So I sent in the tape. And I think there was just so many tapes coming in that Sean just sort of like was going off his first response and just skipped over mine because I had a beard. Oh. And then I think it was like a month or two later and they still hadn't found their guy. And so I reached out, or my team reached out and was like, he can do a self-tape clean shaven now if you want to see it. So, then from there I read with Luciani and got the part.
Do you remember when they were filming or they had to refilm some scenes for Snyder Cut of Justice League?
Yeah.
And they needed Henry Cavill to come back?
Yeah.
But he was filming, I think, Man from U.N.C.L.E. and he had like a mustache.
Yeah.
And they had to CGI his entire mustache
I know,
off.
and they gave him the weirdest upper lip ever.
My God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I guess you couldn't do that with this show. No. CGI out a full beard if they really wanted this guy, right? David Maury talking to Gabriel Basso from The Night Agent, which is on Netflix.
You know what? I always wonder how people bond on sets, how co-stars bond on sets. And I heard that maybe this was a bonding experience, but I don't want to say forced, but you encouraged your co-star to go bungee jumping with you. What's the story?
Compelled her.
Compelled, yes.
No, thank you.
I called her on my drive up from Idaho where I was living at the time. And I was like, you want to go bungee jumping tomorrow? There's a great spot in Whistler. And she was like, no. And so I asked her again and she said yes. But I was going to go regardless. And I think it was a bonding opportunity just because with that adrenaline spike and that trauma, aspect of it, I think you bond pretty quickly.
Trauma?
Okay, first thing she said to you after she was, I guess, unstrapped from the bungee was what?
An expletive for sure. I can't remember which one, but it was a combination of a bunch of them.
But you guys are like best friends now, right?
I mean, we went through a lot. We're pretty close, yeah. There's not a lot of experiences like this show that, happen to people. And you bond in a very unique way.
So he only asked her once. She said no. And then he was like, how about it? And then she was like, okay.
There's an actress by the name of Hong Chow who plays the president's chief of staff, who is like, she's such a killer character.
Really?
Like, amazing. Crushes every scene.
That is Gabriel Basso from the new show on Netflix called The Night Agent. All 10 episodes are out for season 1. And as Dammit Maury pointed out, season 2 has been renewed.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, good morning.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha.
Hey, what's up, Mocha?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
I'm doing good. What's up?
What's your name?
Fabrice.
Want to welcome you to the Roz and Mocha universe, to the show. Fabrice texted in, brand new to Kiss and brand new to Roz and Mocha. How long has it been?
It's I'd say about 3 months.
Oh, so how did you discover the Roz and Mocha show? We've been on the radio almost 14 years now.
Just listening. I usually listen to 98.1, and I was like, this is boring.
Never heard of him.
So I just scrolled in, and I was like, wait, this guy sounds quite fun.
Uh-huh.
And I was hooked ever since.
Wow.
Damn.
And how long had you been listening to the other station for?
Over a year.
Cool, man.
So what is it that you like about the Roz and Mocha show?
Oh, just the camaraderie, the way that you guys, like, it feels as if you guys are on TV. So I think you guys maybe should consider having a TV show.
Oh, good.
It's just really, it's flowing. It's not hard to listen to. It's very easy. And it's just, like, really, really good listening. The podcast is on fire. but it's just really, really nice. So,
Oh, nice. Well, thank you. So I was just going to ask if you've discovered the podcast as well, because we got, almost 600 episodes now of the podcast.
Yep. I'm on podcast 101.
Oh, okay. Are you listening in order, or are you kind of like bouncing around?
Listen in order.
Oh, okay. So in the podcast world right now, based on what you listened to last, what are we talking about?
The last one, I think I skipped one by accident. So I listened to the book that you're listening right now, but talking about the whole history is how you were into getting to writing, the struggles, the ups and downs, and so forth, and the whole family struggle. So, yeah.
Love it, Fabrice. We just wanted to reach out just to say thank you. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. Thank you for making the switch. You have our number. Feel free to text us anytime.
All the time.
Love that. Because you're 3 months in, you've heard us ask other people on the phone. You've heard on the podcast, between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Do I have to choose?
Yep. Yeah.
It's both of you guys.
But
I have to go with Mocha.
Oh.
Hey!
Cool. I shouldn't have pressed.
I should have just left
I should have just left it.
Fabrice, we look forward to talking to you again, man. Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely, man. Take care.
See you, brother. Bye-bye.
I got to start being nicer to people who say they can't decide, because it rarely works out in my favor when I push.
The Roz and Mocha Show
Podcast.
There's a video going around right now of this guy on a Southwest airline freaking out.
Over what?
A crying and screaming baby.
Wait a second. Like his baby?
Not his baby. A baby that's on the flight. The flight hasn't even taken off. The flight is still grounded in Florida. And this baby has been screaming for 45 minutes. Okay. And this guy on the plane just cannot take it anymore and starts going nuts. And passengers are recording. He's yelling, and then the flight attendants, the staff, come up to try to calm him down and speak to him.
Like he's angry because there's a crying baby?
He's angry that the baby has been screaming for 45 minutes and the baby won't stop.
That child has been crying for 40 minutes. Lower that, and you can't put your finger in my face like that. Calm the child down, please. I had headphones on. I was sleeping. Why is the baby yelling? I'm not screaming. You want me to scream? You want me to scream? I'll scream. Please stop the baby. Please. That child was a black baby. What the would be happening right now?
So what he said there is, if that child was a black baby, this S wouldn't be happening. And you hear the flight, it's kind of hard to hear. I'll play a little bit of the rest, but the flight staff are trying to calm him down. Other passengers are trying to calm him down and be like, sir, you need to chill. So he's then starts yelling at not only the flight staff, but the other passengers still sitting in a seat.
I know you're not going there. You're not going there. I'm going there. We are in a tin can with a baby in a damn echo chamber, and you want to talk to me about being okay? Okay, because you're yelling. So is the baby. Okay, so you're not. You got to pay extra to yell. Okay. Shut up. You and shut up. I don't give a You were sitting there watching that baby cry for 40 minutes. Okay. It had nothing to do with nothing. Okay. Lower that baby's voice. I'm tripping.
So the Southwest flight didn't take off. This is in Florida.
Yeah.
They then have to make everybody get off the plane.
That's what happens when somebody won't leave.
And then this gentleman is escorted off by security and then walked away with the police, airport security and the police.
I'm watching the video now because that guy's wife is sitting beside him too.
Yeah, and
she's saying nothing.
She was one of the people close to the beginning. She was like, it's not audible, but you could see her mouth. She's like, just stop.
That's my favorite part of all of this when people freak out is like, he's yelling and they're like, don't yell. And he's like, what, the baby can yell, but I can't yell? And they're like, don't yell. And he's like, make the baby stop yelling. The only question at that point that you can ask somebody like this who's freaking out over a baby crying when they say, shut that baby up, is how?
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then that's when you're really going to find out what kind of person they are.
Yeah.
Right? Like, what's he going to say? How does he answer that question? When you say, how would you like me to shut the baby up, sir? Right? How?
He won't
What
have
kind
an
of
answer.
father is he going to be one day?
One day, he probably is a father. You never
By
even
the
know.
looks of his sweater, he's got kids.
That's definitely a dad sweater.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is, got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Kirsten, what's going on? It's Raza Mocha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good. Welcome back to the show. Super fan.
Yeah, thank you.
What's going on?
So my coworker and I are wanting to start a podcast about tattooing and the industry, and we want to include like other like fun things. I was just wondering if you guys have any advice on like what makes like a podcast successful and like how to get it to take off.
What podcast do you find entertaining?
Well, this one.
Any others?
Honestly, like this is really kind of the only podcast I've been listening to. Like I listened to Two Bears, One Cave, but mainly this one.
What's Two Bears, One Cave?
It's a comedy show.
Oh,
as
okay,
well.
okay. You mentioned tattooing in the industry, but what are the other fun things that you thought of?
Well, so what we were thinking is like, especially the way you guys do like games and just like the way like to interact with like people, like doing like polls and stuff like that, and like questions or just like fun games as well.
Yeah, I would say when you're starting out, because you don't have like a huge name, you know what I mean? Like nobody's going to go looking for your podcast. You're going to go looking. No. They're going to find your podcast because they're either interested in something else or they go looking specifically. So I think that when you're starting out, you have to be really, really specific with your podcast, right? So if your podcast is about tattooing, most of what you guys talk about has to revolve around the world of tattooing, not necessarily like, you know, the nerd stuff, like sitting around and every story has to be about this one time you were tattooing somebody, but just like the sort of world of, you know, tattooing. And you can go online and you find out, you know, what people are talking about, whether it's like a botched tattoo or the pain process or, you know, like products that you see advertised online that actually don't work, like all of this stuff, but you can have fun doing it, you know?
I'm sure it's like the conversations that you guys are already having in the shop or you and your coworker outside of work hours. It's probably the same thing. You just want to start recording it and putting it out there.
Yeah, we just want to make sure like it's stuff that people are like entertained by and like will like laugh at and stuff as well.
Have you listened to any other like or done your research to see if there are any other tattooing podcasts out there?
Yeah. So there's a couple, and what we've noticed is a lot of them are kind of like very bland. It's just people just kind of sitting there and just talking, and it's very kind of like monotone, and it's about the industry and stuff. But I don't know. I guess we just want it to be more fun and more engaging than what we've seen.
Why don't you just start like recording stuff, the two of you? And it doesn't even have to be like full episodes, quote unquote episodes, because they could be as long or as short as you want, but just start recording your conversations and see what that sounds like. And then maybe start piecing them together as episodes.
Yeah. And like what we were also wondering too is it important to have like a captivating like intro to it, do you think?
It doesn't. You don't have to, but listen, just go through and listen to what other successful podcasts do when they start their show. Ours is really over the top. I actually don't even know what a lot of other podcasts do that are comedy based when they start their show out. But tattooing is very visual, right? So you have to work on just telling great stories because that's what's going to, you know, keep people wanting to listen. Like, would I sit around and listen to, you know, two women, you know, talking about tattoo ink and like a fun, probably not. But if we know anything from like Barstool and like all these other incredibly successful shows, is that podcasts where women sit around just like talking crap about stuff are very successful. Like I may not listen to a detailed podcast about tattooing, but I would listen to a podcast about the first time you tattooed a penis.
Yeah.
Me and her are good at talking crap to each other too. So.
You know what I mean? Like I would be interested in that.
That would be episode 1.
I would be, and not that I want a tattoo there,
Oh, there's some good stories.
But I would be, but it's not just necessarily the story, right? Like because you are the tattoo artist, you have to come at it from that point of view, right? Like then you can get technical with it. Then you can talk about the conversation you have, and is it different when you're tattooing an arm, on a guy or like his wiener, right? Like how do you navigate? How do you navigate that world? Like to me, that's interesting. Like I would listen to that.
Okay, yeah.
There you go, episode 1. That'll be the only episode Roz listens to.
yeah, we'll let you know.
And you know what else I would listen to? I would listen to, and not that you want to advertise this, but if maybe you could bring on other tattoo artists who don't give their name. But I'm always very, very curious as to what goes through your mind when you're in the middle of doing a tattoo and you realize, oh man, that was a mistake. And then you got to fix it, and they may never know, but at the time,
or you just
right?
continue.
Like, do you
and
get
hope
the
they don't notice.
Like, do you get the hot sweats? Like, what goes through your mind when you're doing something permanent on somebody's body and you screw it up?
Look at that. Ross just gave you ideas for episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you, it happens way more than you think.
I imagine it does.
Stories.
Yeah.
And like, what I would say is some of those podcasts that you listen to already, some of those other tattooing podcasts, like if they don't have the stuff that you're interested in that you would like to hear other people talk about, then you and your coworker talk about that kind of stuff. And to Roz's point, invite guests, have other people ask the questions that you need answered or that you think that people would want answered as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep it short. Don't think you got to talk for like 2 hours. Okay,
Yeah.
keep when you're just starting out. Keep it short.
Yeah.
And consistent when you guys upload. That's another big one.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Can
There you go.
I possibly plug the name of it?
Sure.
Elements of Ink.
Elements of Ink. And where do people download that?
There's an Instagram page right now. We're going to start making content this week.
Oh,
okay, cool.
okay. There you
Elements of Ink. Love it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
You got it, love.
Thanks. Take care. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life
On Kiss.
Hello, Carol. Welcome to the Roz and Mocha Show. What's going on?
So I had a question about people getting their hair done.
Okay.
So I want to roughly know, what do women or even men pay for the haircut? So I have a family member who is a hairstylist, so I don't have to pay for hair.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if that person retires, I kind of want to know, because of COVID and everything going crazy, like groceries going up, has hair dramatically went up in price? Because I know someone who just got their hair done and they paid a ridiculous amount of money to get their hair done. And it looks okay. It's a process, because dyeing hair, going from a dark color to a light color is going to be a process. So I want to know what people are paying for that.
Are you just talking like a cut, or are you talking like a full?
No, like a dye job. Like this person,
damn.
yeah, like this person got a full head of highlights, which is medium length, a dye, a color to the full head, cut stuff, and she paid a lot of money.
Like what's a lot? You got to give us a number.
$700.
$700
Oh my God.
Never have I ever paid that much, but we can open this up to the Roz and Mocha fans listening.
Right.
The women out there, if you want to text in at 925-555 and give us that number.
What's the
what do you
most?
pay?
What's
or
the
what's the
most?
most? You can always call us too at 416-870-8888.
I'm curious. This is actually really great. I'm curious if we can find the person who is paid the most for a haircut.
I know I have messaged my cousin, because she also likes to do hair too.
Yeah.
And she gave me the amount of what it would cost, which was like roughly $150 she would charge this person for that stuff to be done. And this person paid $700, and my cousin was saying that someone she knows may have paid $1,000.
Come on. How much do you pay for a haircut, Mocha?
$30.
$30. Yeah.
See, and my mother-in-law was complaining yesterday of paying $30 for a haircut.
Wow. Maurie, when you used to get streaks, frosted tips, right? What did you used to pay back in the day? Because that was what, the 90s?
I remember spending upwards of like $85, $90 for my hair. What? Now when I go, so this is interesting. So I go to the guy that does my beard.
Yeah.
I don't pay for a full haircut. I only get like around the ears and the back.
Okay.
And I spend $45 just for around the ears and the back.
Jeez. You spent $45 on an ear trim?
On an ear trim in the back of my
That's
neck.
a lot of hair on your ears, man.
Damn.
Hey, Shem, how much you pay for your haircut?
I pay $45, and,
Yeah,
and,
so
I,
this
and I
is-
get lined up every day.
This
every
is
week,
not.
sorry.
This is not.
Every week?
Every week, yeah.
Wow, dang.
So this is not like in the wheelhouse of what the answers that we're looking for. So again, 925-555 or 416-870-8888. Ladies, what's the deal with the hair?
Also dudes, because I know there's jabronis out there that are paying in the hundreds to get a haircut. What? Guaranteed.
Okay, fellas,
guaranteed.
Give us the number.
I know a mom that just paid $50 for her son's haircut.
How old's the boy?
And it's I think he's 5.
$50 for a 5-year-old?
Yeah, but that's all. That's probably like a fade and like a design in the back.
I know my Nana pays like $90 because she gets it dyed.
Yeah, you get the
Yeah, but
wash.
Hey, Carol.
Okay.
Hey, Carol,
Yeah.
we're going to take some calls, okay?
Okay, thanks, guys. Have a great day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So Carol called in and asked about hair and haircuts and how much you pay.
Because she had never paid for a haircut because her sister just did her hair, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the deal?
Yeah. And like for us at least, like our like for guys is nothing.
I imagine, though, there are
30,
options for
$40,
guys to
right?
pay tons, though. Like, it just depends on where you go. Like, you could go easily to a place that's going to charge you hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But it's all the treatments and everything else.
So Carol wanted to know, and we wanted to know, so we put it out there. 925-555.
What's the most? Who's got the biggest number as far as what they paid for a haircut?
The most I've paid, reads one text, is $250, and we did 2 different treatments.
That seems normal to me.
Oh my God, I was trying to keep up with all these texts. It's crazy.
Like, what's that number?
This got to be from a guy. This is between 80 and 100 for wash, cut, and style.
Yeah, that's very much, yeah.
I pay $120. Oh no, my hair is done by a family member. Okay, that's a deal though.
Yeah, you still pay a family member $120?
I pay about $300 for a haircut and dye that took about 3 hours. After all that work, I ended up with a Karen haircut. Someone quoted me $700 to style my hair for my wedding. I told her I don't have a budget, but you're way over my budget. $250 is another one here. $300 is another one here. $700 is another one here. $360 is another one here. 416-870-8888. What's your number?
Hi, Roz. Hi, Mocha. It's Jennifer from Bradford. How are you?
Good. How are you, Jennifer?
I'm great. I'm definitely need to tune into this because I have extremely long hair. My hair reaches the bottom of my buttocks, okay?
Oh, damn.
And I have been going to a hair salon. It's long, it's curly, it's black. I get my hair dyed all the time. I have 4 young boys that are sitting behind me. I'm at school drop-off, so I'm going to let you guys in real quick. I have never paid over $300 to get my hair cut, colored, styled, and blow-dried, ever.
Are you a sister wife?
No, I'm not. No,
Okay.
definitely not. I have 4 boys under the age of 7.
Somebody just texted. Her name is Mila, by the way, and she said cost for hair $750.
What?
Yeah.
Insane. That's insane.
$700 is more than what my wife paid to get her hair done for our wedding. Is another
Me
text
too.
that came
Absolutely.
in. Somebody else said $300 to $500 depending on your hair length.
Jesus.
Wow.
Thank you so much for sharing. Have a good day.
Thank you. You guys too.
Bye-bye. Hi, Razamoka. How much?
I pay $410 for low lights.
Lowlights. Explain how that process works and how long you're there for.
Well, I was there at the salon for, I'd say, about 3.5 hours. So I recently went from dark to light, and yeah, it was $400.
And how often are you doing that?
I would say about every 12 weeks. Sometimes I'm bad, and I go about 16 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Jeez, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, but it's worth it for hair.
Love you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm going to read some more texts and get to your phone calls in a second. Roz and Mocha superfan Carol called in and wanted to know how much people pay for haircuts, specifically women, because Carol gets a deal because it's just a family member that does her hair.
And you actually, when you remove yourself from that world I'm shocked right now because the same woman, this woman named Catherine has been cutting my hair for almost over 20 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I just paid the same amount, like forever, right?
Yeah.
Like, and even when I was at ET Canada and doing all the TV stuff, like I never ever went to anybody else.
Yeah.
I just always went to her, and the price
Loyal.
has pretty much been the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get along. She's really great, super loyal. I am. And so when you take yourself out of the world, you don't see everything changing around you. And when people start calling us saying that they're paying like $400 for haircuts, like it's mind-blowing to me.
Somebody just texted at 925-555. Over $1,000 is what I spent in September of 2020.
What?
For what?
For their hair.
It's so funny to pay that much to leave something behind.
Yeah.
Somebody drives like 2 hours out of town to get their hair did because it's cheaper. Another person said $450, $150, $120, $850, $325.
Like in and around the $450 seems to be a very common number coming to us.
Yeah. 416-870-8888. What's your number?
$450.
Okay.
And 4 hours of my day.
4 hours of your day. Okay, so that's about
four to
typical.
5 hours, yeah.
Based on what we're seeing on text right now.
That's crazy to me.
Well, it's true. When you go from dark to light, it is a process, and it takes a long time.
So do you do that on the weekend, or you got to take a day off work for that?
I take a day off work, but I only do that maybe like once or twice
Wait a
year.
second. You take like a holiday day, or you call in sick?
Well, no, I tell them in advance, saying I'm not coming in because I'm getting my hair done.
But what does that mean? Like you take a holiday day? Or you just
I
don't
guess
go to
so.
work?
I just don't go to work.
Oh,
but
and they don't knock you for it.
No.
Where the hell do you work that you can say I can't come in tomorrow because I got to get my hair done?
I'm pretty fortunate, I have to say.
It sounds like it.
Damn, girl. Thank you so much, Michelle. Have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Carol, are you there?
Yes.
All right, Carol's the one that sparked this conversation. What do you think after hearing these prices?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Thank
you.
I didn't pay for prom. I've never paid for an entire.
Stop flexing
I
for all these
know,
people
I
who saying they
know,
spend
like-
like $700 and $1,000 on their hair.
I know, it's crazy. And I had my wedding last year. My first wedding anniversary is this Sunday.
Oh, congratulations. Happy early
Thank
anniversary.
you. Thank you. And I had my family member do my hair and everybody in the wedding party.
Wow. I guess
So-
it's like anything else, though, where you have a family member. You know, like if your uncle's a carpenter, you know,
Yeah.
over the course of your life, you're going to save a ton of money.
Sure.
Carpenters are expensive.
Yeah.
Right? If you got a sister who's a hairdresser, over the course of your life, you're going to save a lot of money.
So, Carol, you know the hair industry because of the people that in your family who do hair.
Yeah.
Explain because I'm seeing this word pop up a lot on text where people are saying that they spend anywhere from $700 to upwards of $1,000. What's a balayage? BALAYAG. What is it?
Balayage, I think it's what it's
balayage.
called.
Yeah, what is that? Do you know what that is?
I personally don't know because I don't really pay attention to that. And the person that does, the family member that does the hair is more like an older generation, I guess, of hairstylist. Is not like she would know, yes, but me, I don't know. I'm sorry.
Damn, somebody just texted and said they spent $1,200 on extensions.
Yeah, I believe that.
Is a
But
French word.
I've also gotten extensions in, say, Dominican when I went away on vacation. I spent 6 hours of the day in the salon, and it was only $80 American.
Oh, damn. What's a balayage, Maurie?
It's a French word that means to sweep. In this hair color technique, highlights are hand-painted or swept on the surface
Oh, so
of random
it's
selections of hair.
It's like you can sweep in when you're doing highlights, and it's almost like you're painting it on.
Okay, it says
There.
lighter. Okay, yeah, that's what everyone else is saying here. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Carol, for sparking the conversation.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate
And
it.
thank you, everyone, for all of your texts and for calling in.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.